I am worried for Everton. There's a lot of things going on off the pitch as well, and you see a little bit of unrest, maybe even a little bit of civil war between the fan base. It needs unity, and I don't see that right now for Everton.
Everton 0, Brighton 3. We'll come to that one. You want to talk to me about Everton to start off?
Yeah, now the first thing I think we need to discuss with these 10 results in general was, I think it was a fairly routine, functional Premier League week. There wasn't any real standout results. There wasn't any shock results. The biggest margin in terms of victory and defeat was at Goodison. And obviously with the home team going down 3-0 to Brighton, we've got to focus in on that. And it's not just the result, but I am worried for Everton. There's a lot of things going on off the pitch as well, and you see a little bit of unrest, maybe even a little bit of civil war between the fan base. It needs unity, and I don't see that right now for Everton. We'll talk about the game itself. This was always going to be a difficult one to predict because Everton, they were good last season. I do think it is worth mentioning maybe having that points deduction last season actually gave them a bit of fire in their belly to go out and get those extra results. And they were very good last year, very good defensively. Didn't score lots of goals. I have Calvert-Lewin as the top scorer with 8 goals last season. Decore got 7, but defensively, they were good. Coming up against a Brighton team here where we're not sure what to expect. Brighton are obviously a good Premier League team, but this is a transition now. Hurzeler comes in. They have spent a lot of money. And look, I want to give Brighton full credit for this performance because they really took the game to Everton. Everton fans will point out they could have had a penalty in this game. But other than that, I didn't have a lot of positives here for Everton. Matoma sets the tone with his goal. Really good work down the right-hand side for that one. Welbeck makes it 2. And then just to really stick the knife in, Ashley Young gets the red card. And then Adingra wraps it up. And I think there was a fourth for Ayari, I believe, which was ruled out as well. So it was really bad. And it's game week 1. I'm not going to say, Everton are going down. It's too early to make those kind of sweeping judgments. But as I said, off the pitch, the takeover falling through, the speculation about Branthwaite possibly going to Man United or even Liverpool, which would be quite the turn of events. I am concerned about Everton here, Ben. I don't look at that team and think, there's lots of goals there, okay? They spent 50 million this window bringing players in, and they've brought in 60 million for Onana. But you look at the contribution he's made to Villa. He got a goal on the opening day, and if you're an Everton fan, you're like, everything that could have gone wrong this weekend's gone wrong. I personally think if you stick with Sean Dyche, you've got every chance of avoiding the drop. But is that the position Everton want to be in? This is a massive club, Ben, from our childhood, massive club. Shouldn't just be wanting to scrape by every season, but maybe that's where they are right now.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Because you thought maybe it had bottomed out. They had to take the points deductions and there was 2 of them. And like you mentioned, the takeover and that thought it was getting somewhere. And you've got the new stadium. So the best case scenario is you bring in Sean Dyche, you ride out the points deduction, he builds a new squad. They move up the league. They're clear of points deductions. They go to the new stadium, and Everton start to build back to what they were, say, in the 80s, where they were winning titles and cups all the time. But yeah, I know what you mean about the civil war thing. If my Twitter feed is anything to go by, the Everton fans were, and maybe that's a bit of it, Matt, that they thought the skies were clearing, and then straight away, first game, bosh, here we go. And I think. Sean Dyche has got really good standing as a Premier League manager, but never really goes over too well when you take on the fans. And the comment about that tends to be what it's like here, unless you're winning. What's your take on that?
To be fair, there is an element of truth. I feel like we've grown accustomed over the last couple of years to Everton going down 2s, 3s, 4s at home, and the crowd are not happy. But they shouldn't be happy. They're not going to be cheering the team on. We saw lots of jeering against Brighton. So I think the fans are right, but I think Dyche is also right. But it's hard to bridge that gap, isn't it? I mean, I suppose results is the only way you're going to fix it. But I'm looking at these next couple of games, Ben. Tottenham away, Bournemouth at home, Villa away. there's a real chance Everton hit the first international break without a win or without a point. And like I say, it's the goal scoring. That's really what sets the tone in the stadium. If you lose 3-2, at least you've had your fans cheering and they saw some kind of fight. If you go down 3-0 with a red card, what can the fans take away from that? So, yeah, I think Sean Dyche is probably right to say it. It's not going to go down too well, but it is the truth. But you can understand why the Everton fans feel that way. And like I say, it's because of all the stuff off the pitch as well with Mashiri and the takeover falling through and everything. But this is not solely Sean Dyche's fault. I personally like Sean Dyche.
I love Sean Dyche.
Yeah. I've said it on record, like if there's any manager in this league I want to go to the pub and have a pint with, he speaks really well, really, really nice. But you look at this list now of Lampard, Benitez, Ancelotti, Marco Silva. They've tried every kind of approach here. And Sean Dyche, to be honest, if you look at last season without the points deduction, that was probably their best performance in a season for a few years. So, yeah, it's crazy how we've got to this point. Ultimately, it's one of those where a good run of results or a takeover is the only thing that's going to fix this right now.
There you go. That is our first Matt's moment. What we're going to do, we're going to clip that out, and that's going to go down Matt's channel as well. So if you enjoyed that conversation over on Matt's channel, check in the description down there, and you can come back and watch the full Premier League check-in podcast.
Thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoy watching myself and Benjamin Bloom talking about the Premier League, then don't worry, more is coming. We are doing a Premier League podcast every week talking about the biggest results and the upcoming fixtures. We will not just be talking about Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, the top teams. We will talk about the race for Europe, the teams in mid-table, the teams that have been newly promoted and look to survive in this division. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, and do make sure to hit that first link in the description to subscribe to Benjamin Bloom, where the Premier League podcast will be going out, and we will be taking clips from that as we talk about the biggest talking points in the Premier League each week. Thank you once again for watching today's video. We will see you in the next one. Take care.